Team 2 failed to grab 5 pebbles in their final turn, so they had to start over. Fortunately, they succeeded on the second attempt. Team 1 managed to knock down the target but stepped over the line, making the attempt invalid. What an annoying turn of events. With just over 1 minute left, Team 2 reached the 4th game. Spinning the top seemed to take the most time until they encountered this particular challenge. Meanwhile, Team 1 was still stuck on the target throwing game, and with so little time left, even if they progressed, there was no way they could finish the remaining challenges. It was a lost cause. When time ran out, both teams completed their mini-games but failed to reach the finish line. As a result, all 10 participants were eliminated on the spot. Overwhelmed with fear, everyone held their heads and closed their eyes tightly, unaware of the emotionless expression on the leader's face. One person stood up and criticized those who had voted to proceed. Those individuals lowered their heads in silence, unable to argue. Meanwhile, player 230, apparently high on drugs, seemed completely fearless. Player 124 had seen him hide the stash and tried to ask for a pill to steady his shaky hands. However, they were told no, the stuff was too strong. Forget it, buddy, they said. I'm the one who supplied your stuff at the club. Remember? At this moment, a vehicle arrived to collect the bodies. Upon noticing someone still alive, 2 workers signaled to each other and placed the player in a marked coffin. Before they could take him away, another worker discovered their actions and shot them both dead. It wasn't hard to guess who had fired the shots. The game resumed with Team 3, consisting of player 120, player 95, the elderly woman player 149 and her child, and the sorcerer player 44. The first challenge began, with player 95 attempting the paper flipping game. She failed 3 consecutive times, making her teammates increasingly anxious. Player 120 remained calm and advised her to flip the paper over, leading to their success. In the second challenge, player 7 failed to knock down the target on his first throw. However, instead of panicking, the team coordinated their movements by stepping forward and backward together under player 120's instructions, which helped save time. After a minute and a half, they moved on to the pebble grabbing game. The elderly player 149 struggled due to her age and less dexterous hands. But instead of pressuring her, the team decided to encourage her and help her stay composed. With their support, she quickly succeeded, allowing them to move on to the third game. Next, the sorcerer player 44 attempted the spinning top game, nervously muttering prayers for divine intervention. Her shaky hands failed repeatedly to wrap the string properly. Frustrated by her repeated failures and visible intention to give up, player 120 slapped her twice, leaving her with a bloody nose. If you quit now, he warned, I'll kill you before any gods can intervene. Calmed by the outburst, player 44 completed the challenge on her first proper attempt. The onlookers were even more anxious than the players themselves. Everyone cheered for Team 3 to reach the final challenge as quickly as possible. Only 20 seconds were left. Player 120 suggested that everyone turn away before starting. They just needed to kick 5 balls to win, without letting everyone down. She succeeded, and their team reached the finish line just as the clock ran out. The surrounding crowd cheered in excitement. Even the leader jumped up in joy, learning from the earlier teams. The later ones saved quite a lot of time and were mentally more composed at the start. Their fighting spirit was more fervent than ever. Amidst applause and congratulatory cheers, there was also a heavy silence when some teams failed to complete the game and met their end here. The death trucks came and went continuously until only 2 teams remained, without spectators. The silent atmosphere made the 10 players feel the pressure. They encouraged each other and began their game. Player 222 helped Ji-hoon's team pass the paper smashing game with just 1 throw. Following that, Young-bi also excelled in his game. For the 5-stone throwing game, player 388, who had been trained since childhood by 3 older sisters, easily cleared the game with incredible speed. This gave them extra time for the final 2 games. However, they weren't as fortunate with the spinning top game. On the first throw, their leader failed, scoring a 7. No one was overly worried as they still had time. But on the second attempt, he deliberately threw it backward, forcing them to retreat quite a distance. The third attempt also failed. At this point, the clock showed only 90 seconds remaining. The leader suddenly went mad, punching and kicking himself. Ji-hoon calmed him down, and he regained his composure. This time, they succeeded. When Ji-hoon began the shuttlecock game, the clock only had 20 seconds left. He managed to kick 4 times, but the 5th one seemed like it would miss. The leader quickly extended his leg forward, making Ji-hoon's foot touch the shuttlecock. Their team completed the game with just 1 second left on the clock.